1.16. Need a horn and a drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Need a horn and a drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work.
Yo, we got some Florida State Louisville in the background here. In case you don't know, now you know. You're over here on 863 Seminole TV. And I'm your host, POLK, a.k.a. A-Lo Money, a.k.a. The Goddamn Truth. And, hold on, turn my volume up. All right, turning the volume up. Louisville versus Florida State live streaming in the background. We will be doing that today, of course. And I just got off a great radio interview with Marquise Maben on In the Ville. It was on ESPN Louisville. We talked some Florida State stuff. Talked some Florida State Louisville. So, man, if you guys didn't check that out, definitely go check that out. Shout out to him for reaching out and having me be the voice of Florida State for today. But we are on the hangover, man. We are on the hangover, and right now you're looking at 2-0 Florida State. Got a couple news and notes and some rumors to go off of. Breaking news, the Knicks won today. So shout out to the Knicks. More breaking news. Pruitt got fired today, and apparently he got fired for cause, which means he won't get any buyout. Jeremy Pruitt is out at Tennessee. Does that mean anything for Florida State? No. We're going to put that to bed right now. He is not coming to Tallahassee. Does that mean anything for the players potentially transferring? We lost 2 kids to Tennessee last year, and Morven Joseph and Malachi Weidman. Do those guys try to come back home? Potentially. We'll see. I wouldn't count on it or hold my breath on it, but it's something to look at. Jeremy Pruitt out at Tennessee, fired for cause, will not be paid a buyout. Tennessee is saying multiple rule violations. Let me say what is the direct quote from Tennessee was exactly. Tennessee, in its termination letter to Jeremy Pruitt, says your failures are likely to lead to significant penalties to the university and jeopardize the eligibility of our students. Pretty damning words right there for Mr. Jeremy Pruitt. He is out at Tennessee, and the Bucks are going to the NFC Championship game against the Packers. But Jameis got it. Jameis got a touchdown, and I'm happy to see that. But the Bucs did beat the Saints. And before we get into this Florida State stuff, we're gonna hit up these. We're gonna do this roll call before we get into that Florida State stuff. Hit the like button. Let's get this roll call going. 22 people in here. Hit the like button. If you haven't put your, say something in the chat so you can make this roll call. 5-4. Florida State is up on Louisville right now. Let's go. Ray Fitty in the chat. Jurgen Henry, Peter Shields, CD, Mr. Wolf, Noel Productions, Aiden, Roll Tide, John Shields, Tyler, Priscilla. Hold on, chat jumped on me, so I lost my last spot. Where'd it go? There you are. Priscilla Chestnut, Mayan King, Rose, and that is all. Jalen the King and Raider Noel. And as more come in, by all means, let us know. 5-4 FSU with the ball at Louisville, and bam, One Tribe 5 is in the building, and they just hit a 3 in the corner. 8-4. Florida State is up. Is Scotty out there? Scotty Barnes playing today? I don't think he's not out there right now. Right now, Florida State's got the ball in the half court. I predicted 79-75. That may be a very high score on this. But again, I just got off ESPN radio with Marquise Maben over there on Louisville. Let me get the direct name of that radio show on ESPN radio, just so you guys maybe look out for me in the future over there. He's been Louisville guy, but man, he's reached out every time, and I appreciate that. Hold on. ESPN 680, The Ville, 93.9 The Ville. That's where I just got off today, about 15 minutes ago, and now we're getting into the live stream. I expected, even with Scotty's injury, to play, but I guess he might not play today. Oh no, there he is. He just came up to the scorer's bench, scorer's table. He's going to be checking in here real soon. So Scotty Barnes is going to play today. We just saw him walk up. Rodney Jackson, Island Boy, Chris G. D. Thompson, Rough Riders, all in the building. Okay, let's go. It's a little bit of the FSU news. Baveon Johnson is going to return next year, and I'm going to explain why that's a good thing. And I know FSU fans are kind of pissed off about this. We're on commercial right now, so I'm going to turn it down so we don't get the commercials in the background. I'm going to explain why Baveon coming back is actually a good thing. Even if he doesn't start or starts. Let's start on Baveon. Okay, he's coming back. First of all, he adds critical depth. Critical depth on that offensive line. Look, they haven't picked up an offensive line in the portal yet. And the two guys that we got in the recruiting class, I don't think anybody really thinks that they're day one contributors. So you're going to need some day one depth there. If all else fails and you don't get another offensive tackle in the portal, well, Baveon is probably your starting one of your two starting guards. And point two, or hey, under Alex Atkins, I know this isn't saying a lot, but Baveon actually did have his best season last year under Atkins. Now, mentally, he's still, he's the most senior or tenured player on that offensive line, and he's usually the only one that's constantly jumping off sides, false starts, and all that stuff. With that said, he still had his best season under Atkins. Maybe year two under Atkins, you see another bit of maturation and growth and a 6-year senior. Hey, I can live and dream. But first and foremost, depth. He's gonna add depth. He's gonna add versatility. He can go from center to guard. It's a good thing, guys. I know. We're sick of Baveon. We don't want to see him out there no more. Worst case scenario is our starting offensive line consists of Love Taylor at left tackle and Baveon's back at guard. I do not expect that to be the case going into next year. I really don't. I expect us to have somebody else out there at tackle. Not saying Love Taylor can't play the tackle, but I think everybody knows that Love Taylor's going to do his best work inside. He is not a tackle naturally. He's not an NFL caliber tackle. Doesn't have the length or the size to be an NFL tackle, but can be an NFL quality guard. We're going to need real length and size at that left tackle position. Worst case scenario, again, Baveon is the starter. Best case scenario is we get a tackle, we move Love Taylor inside, and now we have a real quality backup in Baveon in case another guy gets hurt. I don't think you miss a beat there. I mean, obviously you're going to miss a beat because there's going to be a drop in talent, but you don't miss a beat with the guy who just kind of knows what he's doing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that he's staying. I know, but it's a good thing. Let's go to the comments. 11-4, by the way. FSU is up. Matter of fact, let me turn it back up. I hope you guys can hear that. 11-4. Let me put the score on this. I'm behind. FSU 11. Louisville, what was it, 4? And we'll update it as it comes in. Jarvis Jennings in the building. I'm a Laker fan. I was a huge Kobe Bryant fan. All right, Pete. If Baveon can get them false starts under control, he would. Thank you. If Baveon can just get his head in the game, Tyler, he can be serviceable. Is he great? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Is he going to be draftable? Maybe another year. Maybe he's a late round pick. If he can get his head in the game, we got a guy that at least gives us quality snaps. And FSU is on pace right now offensively. I'm surprised that we kind of came out guns blazing. 14-4 going in the commercial break. Let's update that. Do have the game on in the back. So this is a FSU versus Louisville live stream, as well as some news and notes that we're going to continue to go over. Next on the news and notes, these kind of go hand in hand here. These are complete rumors. As a matter of fact, I just recently heard maybe 10 minutes ago, Alabama may have moved on from what I'm about to tell you guys, but it's rumors. Hopefully neither one of these things happen, but it's worth putting out there. Atkins may be pursued by Alabama. Atkins has Sarkisian pretty much took all the Alabama staff with him to Texas from the looks of it. And it's rumored that not that I don't know if they reached out and communicated with Coach Atkins, but it is rumored that he may be on the short list for Alabama to coach that offensive line. If it's true, as Louisville just hit a bucket to make it 7-14, if it's true that Atkins is being pursued by Bama, this is going to be a test to FSU's administration. Are you going to pay this man what he's worth to keep him here? You haven't had this good of an offensive line coach since what? Trickett in his heyday. We have never had a recruiter like what we got right here and Alex Atkins. What are you going to do to keep him? Okay, I don't know. Let me be clear. I don't foresee Atkins leaving. Okay, but again, it's worth pointing out that if Alabama's interested, I'm pretty sure he listens. FSU, what do you do about that? Get your stuff together. Offer this man some money to keep him in Tallahassee. And Coach Woodson also being looked at by Georgia, apparently. The DBs over there. That one might have a little bit more validity to it than the Atkins one. Again, I it's hard to say if a coach is going to go or leave or stay. From what I've heard both sides of the story. I think it was last show or the show before last. A guy came on this show and said that Coach Woodson thought Coach Fuller was inept. If that was true, I don't know why Woodson would stay at Florida State and Georgia's targeting you. So I don't really hold any of it. And if you're listening to the person that came in here and spread that, by all means, raise your hand and own up to that statement. Because if that statement is an accurate statement, I have a hard time seeing why you wouldn't leave to go to greener pastures in Georgia. I don't think Woodson's going to go anywhere. I know everybody's worried about that because if he does, that means we lose the big time #1 high school player in the country. That's a question as well. But until more solid stuff comes out there, I don't foresee Woodson going anywhere. As of right now, we're going to say that he's going to stay put. But it is something to watch if it progresses to anything more. We'll see. Now let's get to the comments before we continue the rest of these. Exactly, man. All Baveon got to do is remember he's the damn guard. Just look over at the ball. Just you're right by the center. I don't understand why he gets the most false starts on the offensive line, but like you say, man, just remember you can see the ball. Hit that like button. What's going on, T2Y? We need to focus on that offensive line. Mine King says overpay. Let's get another O-line coach. Go Bama. Got to pay up for absolutely got to pay up. This is a test to FSU's administration more so than anything else. We need to pay him or at least have a plan B. You got to pay him. To hell with a plan B. You haven't had an offensive line coach that can recruit like this or that can coach like this in how long? Forget about plan B because that plan B is going to be an unknown. This guy has seemed to make the transition to Tallahassee seamlessly. Pay the man money. We should go ahead and try to get Pruitt. No, not happening. Woodson, first of all, have you even heard what Pruitt's been accused of over there in Tennessee? We don't need those problems over here in Tallahassee. No. FSU, Pruitt can stay where he's at. 22-9, and FSU is rolling on all cylinders right now, folks. And I am a bit shocked. I thought this would be a closer game than what we're seeing right now, but FSU came out gunning. 22-9, Florida State over Louisville. Woodson already said he's bought into what Norvell is doing at FSU. Let's hope so, but them zeros change people's minds. Woodson's another one, man. If you think now, see the Woodson, I'm kind of like iffy on. Not that I think he's gonna leave. But here's my thing with Woodson. The fan base tells me that the DBs suck. And they have not played up to par. No doubt about that. We're not going to sit here and pretend like the DBs played up to par. Well, damn it, Woodson coaches them. So do we want Woodson going or do we want to keep him? I'm surprised that the fan base calls a coach garbage for most of the year. Then when someone else is rumored to have interest in him, now it's all, oh, my God, another, come on. What are we doing? Is he either garbage or he's good? So we'll see. We'll see what's going on with that. FSU needs to hire Pruitt as defense. No, we do not. Stop the foolishness. Pruitt can go find. Pruitt's going to have hard time finding another job, period. And it damn sure don't need to be at Florida State. Alabama is. I did hear that about 10 minutes ago that Alabama was looking at Doug Marrone. So, again, I think Atkins is still on that short list. And if they're interested and thing about Saban, if his first guy doesn't fill out, he's gonna go after the second and third options if he needs to. Again, this is a test to FSU's mettle. Is the administration going to man up and say we got a good thing here? We keep Alex Atkins at all costs. Now, I'm not saying you pay an offensive line coach $1 million in salary. I think that would be unheard of. And it would also completely reset the offensive line market, right? So I'm not saying you do that. I mean, look, if Alabama's going to pay that guy $1 million to go coach at Alabama, it was good having you for a year, Atkins. I don't blame you for going to take that money because that's ridiculous. But anything under that, I mean, 600,000-700,000, I think you kind of got to match that if it comes down to it. Dang, I forgot about that Pruitt thing. Yeah, you're right. We don't need him. Didn't Woodson take a pay cut to come here? I don't know if Woodson took a pay cut or not. That's a good question, Tyler. I'm not too sure. They scared Travis Hunter goes with them. That's what most people are talking about. Will Hunter leave with them? I don't know. I think Hunter's no-blooded. Now, I know he's been linked to Woodson very heavily, so I understand. I do understand the feelings. I understand those emotions, but I think Woodson to be fine. I don't think he's going anywhere. Maiden Dade in the building. Pruitt got Tennessee about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know why us FSU fans are asking for Pruitt. Do you see the sanctions Tennessee's about to get? I read it at the beginning of the show. Let me read it again in case you guys missed it. Tennessee sent this letter to Jeremy Pruitt. This is what they told him in terms of his termination. Your failures are likely to lead to significant penalties for the university and has jeopardized the eligibility of our student athletes. Ugh. Ugh. That's tough. Please make it known what Pruitt did. Actual specifics hasn't came out to what Pruitt did, but the University of Tennessee alone has said there's been multiple rule violations by Jeremy Pruitt. That's coming not from outside sources. That's coming from Tennessee or the University of Tennessee. Or I don't know. I'm not a Tennessee fan. It's coming from the University of Tennessee. Multiple violations has been made by Pruitt and staff. So I don't know why we'd want to bring those problems over here to Tallahassee. 22-11, Florida State up over Louisville. Let me update that score. There we go. Most people don't know that Travis Hunter is from West Palm. He is a West Palm native. Yes, sir. He's a Florida boy committed to Florida State, not Coach Woodson. I don't see why UGA would hire Woodson. No results on the field yet. I think UGA just might want that best player in the country. Sometimes programs will hire a guy for a prospect. If UGA thinks they have a legit shot at Travis Hunter, they'll make that hire. Anybody else jump ship from Tennessee? I know they had 2 decommits today, an offensive tackle and a wide receiver, both 4 stars. They did have two decommits today. Tennessee is a dumpster fire. I can't see anything. Maybe Malzahn, maybe Gus. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they went after Gus Malzahn. Even with looming sanctions, at least it gives Gus an excuse to kind of reshape and remold that program. Is going to give him a. You don't hire a coach in the midst of sanctions and not give him his 3 or 4 years, however long he signs the contract for. So if Gus wants to get back in the coaching, I can see Gus going to Tennessee. Other than that, I think you're right. I don't know if what coach is available that's worth coaching at Tennessee. That'd be, I don't know, man. Basically, a thanks for nothing. Letting the risk obvious wasn't worth the reward. Should I turn on the basketball game? We have been playing well while I'm not watching. Okay, well, you don't watch it. Just can you hear it, Tyler? If you can hear it in the background, listen in the background. 22-11, Florida State is up on Louisville. Hurricane TTY says Jimbo at it again. What did Jimbo do? A Tennessee coach paid players just to go. That is crazy, Dennis. You did all that cheating just to not even win the weakest division in the SEC in the East. 24-11 FSU up on Louisville. Scotty Barnes with the ball. Ankle looks pretty good to me. You got to finish that, number 5. You're too big, too tall. Scotty Barnes got it to you in the perfect spot. You got to finish that, man. But
Super Tuesday tomorrow because it's Tuesday. It'll be on ESPN.
a Tennessee coach, Jimbo, wouldn't surprise me if Tennessee went after Auburn's left. A former Jimbo staff member brought his problems to Tennessee. I would say Pruitt only coached 1 year under Jimbo. Pruitt predominantly was a Nick Saban disciple. So he was the DB coach at Alabama before Jimbo hired him. Then he went back to Alabama. So I would or didn't he have a stop before? I think he went. Where did he go before he went back to Alabama? Was it Georgia? I think he might have went to Georgia. But he's more of a Nick Saban disciple than a Jimbo Fisher one. Tennessee fans think they get Luke Fickell's not leaving Cincinnati for that. I would be shocked. He's not leaving Cincinnati for that. I'm a little bit superstitious. A little bit. What else do we got? I want to go over this graphic. This has been circulating, and I want to talk about it real quick. Credit to War Chant for putting this out, but we got to put these numbers in the proper perspective. So while the game's going on in the back, we're going to talk about this 27-11 while we continue to watch FSU do the thing on Louisville right now. Yeah, Louisville cannot buy a basket right now. They're missing all their shots. Man, if Scotty Barnes could just get that shot on the wraps, he'd be nasty. Another miss on a wide open shot from Louisville. Anyway, we're going to talk about what FSU lost and what they gained this year in the portal. Again, shout out to War Chant. They're the ones who put this up. But I look at some of these numbers, and I had to do some research because we got to put some of these numbers into their proper perspective. Exactly what are we talking about here? But on the surface, on face value, of all the players that went, not the players that left. So we're not talking Asante Samuel. We're not talking Marvin Wilson. We're not talking Tamarion Terry. These guys went pro. So we're not talking Janaris Robinson. We're not talking Joshua Kando. We're talking about guys who left in the portal. FSU loses 4,964 career snaps, 5,445 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, 331 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, 263 receiving yards, 261 tackles, 24 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, 1 interception, 17 pass breakups, 4 forced fumbles. And what do we gain in the portal? Well, these numbers are kind of staggering. Over 10,000 snaps. 10,371 to be precise. Over 8,000 passing yards. 8,663 passing yards. 72 touchdowns. Over 1,600 rushing yards. Now, this is where you got to look at things in a proper perspective. 1,677 rushing yards, 25 touchdowns. We gained in the portal. 1,000 of those come from Mackenzie Milton himself. Mackenzie Milton was a damn good runner. I don't expect to see that type of Mackenzie Milton in his one and only year here at FSU. I don't think he's going to run for 600, 500 yards. That's just – you don't go from being 90% from his own words in his interview where he said he's 90% in January. I don't think he goes from being 90% to running for 600 some odd yards in one season. That's just my personal opinion. I would expect him not to run as much. So 1,000 of that is coming from the quarterback. Over 1,000 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns, 449 tackles, 34 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 5 interceptions, 40 pass breakups, and 6 forced fumbles. Let's put all these numbers into context like we just did. That is a lot of snaps, first and foremost, that FSU really gained in the portal. Jordan says, yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? I know guys have been calling for a portal backer, but Gaynor, Lundy, Dix, a year better. I think you feel good and ride with what you got. I think Emmett Rice is coming back as well. So I think, again, it is said that FSU is going to go more to the conventional 4-2-5 this upcoming year. I think a four-man rotation at linebacker is good enough. I think you're right with Gaynor, Dix, Lundy, Emmett Rice. Also, you still got Jaleel McRae. Can he live up to some of the hype he had coming in? He's still out there. Baveon Glenn is in the portal, but you've got Jalen McCluster. You got some other guys. I think they're happy in the portal, and I kind of agree with them. It's just a matter of getting these guys up to par. Giuseppe, what's up? Jay Graham was Pruitt's downfall. Now Jay Graham was a Jimbo guy for sure. What up, McBride? FSU's basketball is getting violent. 32-13 against. Yes, sir. Let them know. 30. Matter of fact, let me update the score here because I've been talking about these numbers.
9 o'clock Eastern time. Chip, Joanna, and I are going to bring you a great fixer-upper.
But FSU was doing the thing on the basketball court.
One of the best three-point shooting teams and one of the best defensive teams in the country. And Sean, Jimmy, can you tell me
what's going on, Concrete? No. Paul, do you think Tampa's going to the Super Bowl? No.
The easiest question either one of us has ever been asked.
I would love to see it. Kinda. I'm still I root for Tampa, but I'm salty about how they did my dog, Jameis. With that said, I don't know, man. I don't know if Tom Brady. This isn't Tom Brady of a few years ago. I mean, I watched that game with the Saints, and I think the quarterback play was subpar for the most part. Now Brady made the throws that he needed to make, or Breeze couldn't make a throw to save his life, and that's why New Orleans eventually loses that game. I don't even think Tom Brady's going to outduel Aaron Rodgers. So that's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if the Bucs can beat the Packers. If they do beat the Packers, they might win it, depending on if Patrick Mahomes plays in the next game or not. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't play in the next game, the Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl, folks. Blew my mind how people reacted to the 90% comment. You would have thought he said he need. People were like, "Oh my, 90%." I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, you still got 90%, and yet he still has a whole spring, summer, and fall to go through. I think he'll be fine. That I still don't think you're going to see a lot of him running this year. And I think that's just to conserve his body and probably try to get him ready for the NFL if that is a legit thing. But 90%, I'm not worried about 90% at all. Jordan said, "Now Patrick comes back. Every day is a great day." May says Brady going to the bowl. We going Pope. Bucks beat Packers. That's the regular season, though. That's the regular season. You can't do anything about that. That holds no weight. I remember the Patriots beat the Giants in the regular season. The Giants ended up beating the Patriots and stopping them from having that undefeated season in the Super Bowl. Playoff football is different. So don't bank on that one. Don't bank on that one. I think it's going to be Green Bay and the Bills. Only way the Bills are winning, if Mahomes doesn't play, then I agree with you. Then the Bills are going to win that game. If Mahomes plays, it's going to be the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs and the Packers would be a cool Super Bowl. The Chiefs and the Bucs would be a cool Super Bowl too. As of right now, today, I'm going the Packers and the Chiefs. But again, if Mahomes doesn't play, I will take the Bills. Who's your NFL team? I'm a Bucs / Jameis Winston / Dalvin Cook, or wherever other Florida State players go, fan. I will root for the Bucs. But I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping the Saints won that just so I could laugh at how they treated my dog. And I just follow whatever. I was rooting for the Rams, and they disappointed me. But that's because the Rams need to get rid of Jared Goff. Wherever Florida State players are, that's usually where I'm rooting. Montre says Mahomes was playing in the next game. I hope so. I mean, a concussion is nothing to play with. If he had a legit concussion, I hope he does play in the next game. Packers Nation forever since '96. Jeffrey Bell, what up? Did you see Steven Dix was a Rivals freshman All-American? He should be. He played enough snaps to be, so that was good to see. I think FSU had we had like 2 or 3 freshman All-Americans. I know Robert Scott made freshman All-American. I think Maurice Smith made one of the freshman All-American lists, and Steven Dix made another one. I'm hyped about the Thomas kid. I watched some South Carolina tape. His hand play, leverage, and block shedding is light years ahead of what FSU put on tape this year. 40-16. Let me update the score. Jesus. FSU is rolling right now. I predicted 79-75. At this pace, FSU is going to go for 80. I didn't foresee this offense playing like this. We're so hit and miss sometimes offensively, but they're figuring some offensive stuff down, and the defense has been stifling. Seminoles are playing good ball. Maybe that month off recalibrated the systems right there. Open day, FSU at Notre Dame. What does FSU have to do to beat the Irish? It's too early for me to tell you what we have to do. I got to see how this roster shakes out before I can say what we do, what we don't do. It's a very winnable game, point blank, period, because they're losing a lot. Sorry about that. They're losing a lot of they're losing their quarterback, their entire offensive line. So I mean, we can play some defense, we'll be in that game. But we gotta see again how does this offseason shake out? Patrick out with a concussion. That's the thing. Is he playing or not? Everybody's there's no way he's gonna miss the game. That concussion's serious. He's not gonna play. And if he doesn't play, I think the Bills are gonna win that because they are definitely a different team without Patrick Mahomes.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase. I'll allow it.
Akers was the only thing the Rams had against Green Bay. He was the only thing the Rams had all playoffs because it was Akers. Akers is offensively. That's who they need to build this team around. They need to. I think they signed Goff to some big money. They need to find a way to get rid of Goff, bring someone else in, and build that team around Akers. But got to give him a legit quarterback. Them cats over there on Listen Up podcast, just straight negative. It seems like, but I get it, sort of, kind of. I listen to them. They're a good listen. I don't agree with a lot of stuff they say, but, you know. Different strokes for different folks. Winston throw too many damn interceptions. Okay. This ain't the AFC anymore where Brady can run over every team. Brady joining the NFC and trying to win championships is like Miami joining the ACC trying to win championships. Shots, pow, pow. If my Cowboys don't sign Dak back, I hope Jerry Jones go after Jameis. I think this year kind of showed that without Dak, the Cowboys like really needed him. Like Notre Dame lost their O-line, brought in subpar quarterback transfer to start. We will win opening night. There you go, Joel. Bam. You think Jameis will take over for Breeze? I kind of hope he doesn't, only because the cap situation in New Orleans, that team is getting older. And I don't think that team's getting better. I kind of want Jameis. I think it was good for him to learn. And I don't even know if learn is the correct word, but to be mentored by a Drew Brees and a Sean Payton, see the day-to-days. I mean, Jameis hasn't had a stable coaching and none of that since he's been in the NFL. Again, the Bucs did nothing to help Jameis Winston out in his time in Tampa Bay. With that said, I don't know. I kind of hope he goes to a team because I don't know what the Saints can really build around him. That team is kind of cap-stricken going forward. Having Alvin Kamara helps Jameis. But in my opinion, they don't have any. Michael Thomas is not a good receiver, in my opinion. Very overrated, in my opinion. He's going to need some better receivers over there in New Orleans. Brady 43, oldest QB in the league, and got Tampa in the NFC Championship game, soon to be Super Bowl. You're right. You're right. What underclassmen taking a step this year makes the biggest impact? Milton is on campus, and 42-20, Florida State with a 20-point lead. Hasn't really been competitive so far. Oh, why did it do that? There we go. As far as what underclassmen taking a step, so tough. I have a name that I want to throw out there, and I have no evidence that this kid's ever going to be any good. It's a pipe dream for me. And one of the underclassmen I would love to see just take a step, because I think it would really solidify this offensive line, is Lloyd Willis. And I say Lloyd Willis is because when I look at it, if you were going to draw up a left tackle, you would draw them up to look like Lloyd Willis or Rod Orr. 6'6", 6'7", extremely long arms. But with Lloyd Willis, he's huge. He's not only is he 6'7", but the kid is probably 315, and I'm maybe even being kind. Man, if Atkins can get something out of him, that's where I want to go with. Again, I have no evidence that Lloyd Willis is going to ever be anything at Florida State, but I'm putting it out there because 40-24, I'm putting it out there because that's the guy I want to see get a shot. Him and Robert Scott as your tackles, man, you're set going forward for the next 3-4 years. Nice bank shot right there. 42-24, FSU over Louisville. I'm a Dolphins and a Knowles fan. Do you think the Dolphins do the Watson trade? I'm so surprised that Dolphin fans and the Dolphins organization is so quick to give up on Tua. That's so crazy to me that everybody's so quick to give up on Tua Tagovailoa. If I'm the Dolphins, I don't do it because I think that team has more holes to fill. If you're talking about getting Deshaun Watson, what are you talking about giving? 2-3 first-round picks? It's going to be something like that. I might just hold off on the trade. Have faith that Tua can get it done. I mean, dude was a rookie coming off of an injury. I mean, I think in the NFL, man, people are so quick to throw these quarterbacks away. I don't think I would do the trade if I'm the Dolphins. Milton is on campus. I think I answered that one. I'm a huge Panther fan and would gladly rather have him over Teddy. I think anybody would rather have Deshaun Watson. The question is, what you going to trade to get him? Because you're going to have to mortgage your entire future to get him. A team like the Patriots could make a run because, to me, Bill Belichick has never been the type of guy who's needed the picks. The Patriots routinely trade away picks and trade back in the draft. That whole roster is built out of second and third round picks. Bill Belichick has been very good at that. I can see the Patriots or team in that mold do that. A team with holes, I don't think it's a good idea. Demore Tate has supposedly been locking guys down. I mean, look, the easy answers for next year's underclassmen, the Demore Tates of the world. Steven Dix takes the next step. Robert Scott takes the next. All those guys are the good, not the wrong answer. They're the right answer. They're the guys you expect. I'm kind of going off the rails. My dark horse is Lloyd Willis. I just want to see if we can get this kid on the field and if he's any good. If he's any good. Because if he's any good, if Atkins ain't molding him, if Atkins is what I think he is, and he can get something out of a guy that's 6'7", 315 pounds. Again, if you don't know who Lloyd Willis is, go look at him. He wasn't the highest rated prospect, but neither was Robert Scott. If he can do that to Robert Scott, I got to believe he can do it to Lloyd Willis. The kid is built like an NFL tackle right now. 6'7", 315 plus. He's built like an NFL tackle. Can we get some production out of him? Can he play at the college level is the question. That's my dark horse pick. That's the guy I want to see make that step. Be on the lookout for Commitment Watch. Yep, Nico just released his top 4 recently, and FSU was in it. I saw a mock draft. They got Marvin Wilson going to the Bills. That'd be a good place for him to go. That Bills defense is legit. The first period's winding down here. Scotty Barnes at the top. 13 seconds to go. Okay, Scotty, what you going to do? You got the size advantage. MJ Walker with the 3 to close the, and he shot it a little short. FSU is going to go into halftime with the lead 42-28. That was a good first half from the Noles. Did not expect 42 first half points, but not too surprised. I did pick them to score 79, so it makes a little bit of sense. You think Demore Tate will start? Demore Tate's going to have to. He's going to have to play. He's going to have to play for that spot. They didn't bring in 3 portal DBs for no reason. He's going to have to play for that spot and prove it. I think he's got the talent to. Willis is a big dude. Need to go after Kobe Smith, Tennessee, decommit. Our secondary is going to surprise a lot. Me too, Pope. Our fan base in Miami is terrible. Yeah, I don't know why y'all so quick to give up on Tua. But, you know, breaking news, Tennessee fire Pruitt. Tighten up defense. There are some rumors on Jameis to the Patriots. That'd be interesting to see. Willis has the frame for sure. He looked like he came with some bad. I'm pretty sure he did come with some baby fat on him. And that's what I'm saying. A whole nother year. I mean, I can't wait to see if they can get something out of him. But he definitely has the right physical toolbox to do the job. I wonder where his strength compares to Scott. All good questions and good points there, man. Visiting FSU in Florida this week sometime. Word on the streets is we have cooled on Markiol. His junior season was trash. With the quarterback situation, I think they're trying to take 2 this cycle anyway. So if you can get Nico and another guy, I think you go for it. So they may have cooled on him or not. I don't know, but I know they've also offered 9-10 quarterbacks in 2022. So they're going to take a quarterback or 2. I think they're going to try to take 2. That's just me. This is way off the sports topic, but I'm watching us play, and I'm just saying to myself, man, I wish that old school basketball unis would make a comeback. The long, baggy shorts. A lot of buzz around Cade Klubnik. Is there? That might be one to watch out for them. 47 in the chat, guys. Hit the like button. We talking all kind of stuff today. We got the line. I'm gonna mute this in the back. But it's 48. We're going to halftime. Hold on. I put the banner up. Winning at halftime 42-48. So we got the live stream going. We've got a little bit of FSU news and rumors. A bunch of general topics though. It's been pretty quiet on the Florida State trail as of recently. But we're also winding down to this last recruiting stretch. Has anybody heard? Because I have not heard. But I know Taiwan Malone was supposed to be visiting A&M. Has anybody heard anything around that visit? Has it happened yet? Is it still happening? I would love to know what his thoughts were of A&M and how that happened. Hurricane Kilo, what's going on, family? And of course, Destin Hill. That would be, I think, number one. If be honest with you, I don't expect us to land much on the final signing period. because quite frankly, most of the class is done. If we can just finish that day with Hill, I'll be happy. Anything after that would be a luxury. Give me Hill, and I'm happy. Period. Give me Hill. Malone's a luxury, and anything after that's a luxury. I want Dustin Hill in that 4.3 speed. When was the last time FSU had a receiver that was that fast? Levante Whitfield, maybe? He didn't have the physical measurables of a Dustin Hill. He wasn't the football player of a Dustin Hill. Give me Hill, and I'll be a happy man going into the spring. I hope MJ Morris be a Seminole. Let's look up Cade Klubnik. I'm not even sure I'm aware of that name, Tyler. There he is. Pro style quarterback 247. I'm gonna bring him up here on the screen real quick. Similar measurables to Nico. There was an article put on for the A&M visit. Didn't seem like anything decisive. I didn't even, and I think that might be good news, Tyler, because I didn't even, with the way my Twitter feed works, if this guy had anything positive to say about A&M coming out of that visit, I would have known about it. I would have known about it, man. That might be a good news for us there. I'm gonna bring up Cade here in a minute. Florida State love in the building. Love your content. Keep grinding. Thank you, Chris. Nothing much, bro. Enjoying the show. Thank you, Hurricane Kilo. And Joel Davis says, I hope Dan Mullen NFL rules messes with the Gators recruiting. That's the beautiful thing about Dan Mullen, Joel. That's the beautiful thing about Dan Mullen. He easily has the best team in Florida. And he can't recruit. Matter of fact, they just recently lost recruit to Dion in Jackson State. He can't recruit. Mullen is a damn good coach and a damn good quarterback coach. Always has been. Dan Mullen can't recruit because he's a cornball. If Norvell can turn this thing around, FSU is going to be back quicker than I think a lot of people expect. Dan Mullen can't recruit. Dan Mullen has been in, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 straight New Year's Six bowls. They've been trending in the right direction on field. Where's the top 5 recruiting classes from these Gators? Why is he not locking down all the state of Florida kids? Like when Jimbo in his heyday here at Florida State, when he was doing those same things, New Year Bowl after New Year Bowl, FSU was top 5 recruiting damn near every year. And a couple of those years landed the number 1 overall class. And I don't see that from Dan Mullen. He's getting kids off of just the fact that the Gators are good, but he's not a killer on the trail like that. Your Maiden Day says Kilo, what up? And Kusami Hayes is in the building. Okay, let me bring in here, because I've never watched this guy's I've never watched. There we go. I've never watched his tape, so we might watch a little bit of his tape, especially since it's halftime and FSU is up 42-28 on the Louisville Cardinals right now. But that is Cade Klubnik. I don't think he's rated. We'll check him and then we'll check Nico out. I want to say off the top of my head, I think he might be rated a little higher than Nico in the composite. I think he might be rated a little bit higher. Let's check out the highlight. Why not? Let's go. Yeah, okay. Let's go junior season highlights. Hold on. Let's bring those up. Let's bring the junior season highlights up.
Until I'm sure. Why don't you call TD Ameritrade for a strategy gut check? What's that? You run it by an expert. You talk about the risk and potential profit and loss. Should have used that before I hired my interior decorator.
All right, shut up. I don't care about that. Jack in the Box is disgusting. I don't know if anybody eats it, but I do not eat Jack in the Box. I probably shouldn't say that. They might sponsor me. Never mind. Eat Jack in the Box, guys. Anyways, here we go. I'm gonna watch some a.k.a. here and see what he got. I don't like that wind up. He has a funky release, like a sidearm type of throw. The ball got there though. I'm not gonna say the ball didn't get there. I'm not a fan of the way he throws the ball though. Yeah, he got a real elongated release. I mean, that's a 50-yard throw though. It got there. That's a legit 50+ yard throw. Not a fan of the release though. Not a fan of the release. That he gets the ball where he's got to get it, but that's not conventional release right there. Am I the only one seeing the way he kind of sidearm and then he look at the way he kind of sidearm throws that thing, and then it's elongated at that, so it's like it's a long wind up and it's an unconventional release.
And then we were like, wait a minute, pretzels. Yeah, pretzels would be
Carla Freeman, how you doing?
Reese's. Now stuffed with pretzels.
I'll check out CJ Campbell after. I want to check out Nico's tape next. I just want to check out his tape. I mean, the ball gets there now. He's got a good arm. He just got a funky wind up to me that I think might be tough. It may get him through college, but they'll kill that in the NFL. They'll kill that in the NFL. And then again, there's like a sidearm type of sort of like almost like he's throwing it. That pass looked better, more conventional. Somebody's got to work on that for me. And maybe that's just me though. Shane Graham says, what happened to the D tackle that ended up going the JUCO route from last year? Manny Rogers. Haven't heard anything on Manny Rogers. He was supposed to go JUCO and eventually be coming back to the program, but yeah, I haven't heard anything on Manny. Rose says, K reminds me of Phillip Rivers, the way he releases the football. I don't like it. I agree. I'm not a fan of the way he releases that ball. But that was his tape. We're going to compare him to Nico, and then we're going to look up the CJ Campbell kid that Tyler wants me to look. I think I have watched some of Campbell's highlights, and he's actually pretty good for a walk-on. But we'll look at that. K seems like a sure get for FSU, sort of like Phillip. Everybody's saying the Phillip Rivers thing, so there you go. Pretty good at how you doing. A big thanks, Carla Freeman. His stats and play speak for itself, in my opinion. I don't know anything about throwing mechanics for a quarterback. Fair enough. Yeah, Manny Rogers disappeared. We need a D tackle for sure. Hurricane says he looks one-sided. Let's go to Nico. I'm not no quarterback whisperer myself. But I can judge a release of a guy. And so Nico is rated a little lower than Cade. Hold on. Let me bring him up. I know y'all can't see it right now. 51 people in here, man. Hit the like button. Nico's been my guy since I watched that tape, his sophomore tape. So Cade didn't do it enough for me to say move on from. I mean, I get it. Maybe Nico had a bad junior season, but I think Nico also suffered some injuries. Hey, the Nico I saw looked damn good. Here's his junior season right here. Hold on. Let me exit out of this and open that back up. This is junior season tape, so we're going to look at this. Y'all can see it. Okay, y'all can see it. There go that nasty. That delicious Jack in the Box. Eat it, Jackson Box. Hit up my DMs. Let's talk business. What's up, Wanda Smith? How you doing? Todd Pope. Cade beat a very talented North Shore team and won Texas' hardest division state championship. No doubt. Not doubting any of that. This is Nico running the ball. Yeah, that's not going to fly. I mean, that's Arizona speed, so that wouldn't fly in Florida, no doubt. It's the release for me with Nico that I'm infatuated with. Like, he gets the ball out. Like, he just looks better throwing. I mean, they're showing his wheels, but again, this is Arizona. That's not going to translate to look. His release is spot on to me. Like, the ball just leaves his hand. It just jumps out of his hand. He had to wind up for that one. He might not have a stronger arm than Cade. Because on that, some of the longer passes, looks like he takes more time to he's and it was the accuracy for me too. I mean, this kid's doing, look at that. They don't get no better than that, folks. They don't get no better than throwing the ball in between two defenders like that. I don't think FSU's got a quarterback on the roster that can do that right now. He's got a lot of running highlights. Man, he had all the time. Look at this. Kind of underthrow. See, I think his arm strength might lack a little bit on the deep ball. But again, the ball just jumps out of his hand. When he decides to throw that ball gets there. And gets there fairly quick. And again, I don't put much stock into him running the ball because he looks dead slow, right? He just looks slow. But again, it's Arizona kids. Not trying to knock Arizona high school football, but Nico wouldn't be doing this if he played in Florida. Second half has started, by the way, so I'm going to turn the game back up. And we got Louisville 30. Cade has better stats. Nico throws lots of INTs. Cade has one INT in the entire season. Turnovers do definitely you got to be able to protect the football as a quarterback, so no doubt there. I'm gonna just say I'm just biased. I'm not saying Cade's not a good quarterback. I'm not saying that Cade doesn't make good decisions. I'm just more infatuated with Nico's arm talent. To me, it just looks better. Like that throw right there, where the ball just zips out of his hand, like it gets to where it has to go. I'm very much infatuated with this kid's arm. I don't know how far he can throw, but his accuracy and the fact that the ball gets where it has to go. I mean, look, right there, he just puts the ball on the. Denard Davis says Cade has better stats and competition. Now, you can definitely make the case for the competition being in Texas compared to Arizona. That is a good point if you want to make that point, absolutely. Marquise Dupree says go Noles. So we're not going to deny that. Right now, FSU up 44-32. And Gray might be playing himself into the NBA this year. Gray has been a very good player for Florida State. Right now it's 46 with the potential to be 47 if Gray hits this free throw. 47-32 FSU. And we're still watching Nico's highlight. It's a long highlight tape from Nico. I'd be ecstatic if we got Nico, but there are definitely more guys. Absolutely. I'm not denying that, Tyler, at all. Again, they've offered like 9 or 10 of these kids in 2022 class. So they're definitely going to hit on somebody. But both are definitely good options. Johnson is coming back for another year. He really improved under Atkins. Yep, we talked about Baveon coming back. Baveon will be back. Okay, let's look up the CJ Campbell. Let's look him up. The walk-on running back FSU got is 49-35. FSU over the Louisville Cardinals. CJ Campbell, right? Running back from Panama City. Unranked. 5'11", 185. Let's check out his senior tape here. There he is. Come on, show the chicken. A nasty jack in the box.
That's a foundation. His dad is unique. Absolutely, his dad is unique. We need more of him like that. This kid's not spoiled.
Hold on, let me mute this sound. Okay.
Greg played his high school ball. Now his dad's in his first year as the head coach at Warren Central Indianapolis. DeAndre Davis, senior. You cannot have 50 possessions. You can have 49-35.
Okay, you got out of there. Let's see what. What's the high school talent like there up there and where he's from? Anybody know? What's the high school talent looking like there up in Panama City? I like about him off the top is that he just seems like a tough runner. Like he just seems hard to tackle. I don't think he's exceptionally fast, and he's definitely not a big back. But that doesn't mean he's not a good back. It doesn't mean that he's not a tough runner. Keeps his feet moving at all times. Right here, you see him in the wild. Oh no, was he playing quarterback or what was that? No. Okay, so I think they circled the wrong guy. Oh, he just good balance there to stay on the sideline. See, he's breaking through arm tackles. I like that's I see as his biggest attribute is if you don't get a real hat on him, you're not gonna tackle him because they're getting hands on him. Cause right here he just outrun everybody. That's why I'm asking what's the quality of play up there in Panama City? Because it doesn't look like he's moving fast, but they can't catch him. I think they got him in the slot on this play. Put him out as some wide receiver. Okay, right there, he looked a little fast. Definitely a good pickup right here. Do we have the money to keep Atkins? If they want to pay the money to keep him, yes. Don't let people tell you that FSU ain't got no money. That's a joke. The question is, do they want to pay the money to keep him? What about Sam Horn, Travis Hunter's teammate? They have offered him as well. They definitely have offered him 49-36 FSU over Louisville. I believe CJ Campbell. He's walking on. He's walking on, which is cool to see because he looks like a quality. I mean, he looks like he should be a 3-star. Like, I don't know why someone will watch. He must have only played maybe 1 year of high school. Obviously, with COVID, he didn't get to go to any camps. I know that affected a lot of guys' rankings this year. But I don't know how you can watch his tape, look at his high school numbers, and go, he's not at least a 3-star. So, I mean, they have him completely unranked. I think that's a guy that people are sleeping on there. 49-38. Hunter will be bringing some recruits with him when he comes. Hunter's been a very active recruiter on social media. And then Tyler says this guy deserves to be a 3-star. 49-38. FSU's offense looked like it's kind of stalled in the second half a little bit after being really hot early on. I agree. I agree, Art Davis. I don't know how this kid has no offers. Shoot, right there, he's playing defense, and he just laid a kid out. And again, he's very tough to tackle. That's his best attribute. From great feet in the hole and vision. And I guess he's deceptively fast because he doesn't look very fast yet. Nobody's catching him on. They have angles on him. They can't catch him. He might be one of those guys who football speed is a real thing, and he just might be one of those guys that look fast or plays faster than he looks. Look. See, that's what I'm talking about with the tackles, man. That dude is tough to tackle. Definitely not the shiftiest back, but he doesn't necessarily have to be. I think he's got to be adding some quality depth to that running back room for sure. I'm not buying the Sam Horn hype because all he got to do is get the football to Hunter. And well, hey, no lies told there. You just get the ball to that kid, and that kid's going to do the rest. Absolutely. This guy also has a 4.6 GPA, a really high test scores. Academics will help offset costs, and if he keeps improving, he could be a scholarship back. Oh, so he's a genius. That's what's up. So hey, that's the kid that we all are going to root for over here. We'll be rooting for CJ day one. Look at this. In 8 games, the dude had 220. Hold on. Let me go back to that in case you guys didn't see that. In 8 games. Okay, more Jack in the Box garbage. Hurry up. Those stats were impressive, man. In 8 games. Right here. In 8 games, 2,200 yards, 25 touchdowns. 4A, Player of the Year. So 4A, I mean, that's decent size. Not necessarily the biggest size school competition, but 4A's middle of the road, middle of the pack, I guess you would say. He should have had some offers. And other people's loss is going to be our gain. I think FSU might have got a gem right here. We might have got a gem. Absolutely. All right. Any more tape you guys want to check out, let me know. I'm going to pay more attention to this basketball game. Oh, shoot. We're going to watch this basketball game as FSU is up 49, now 50, with a chance to go for 51. I'm going to update the score after this. 51-38. Hit the like button if you haven't. Thanks for the subscription. Davis, 904 Davis TV. All right, thanks for that subscription, boss. Right now, we're watching FSU versus Louisville. FSU up 51-38 in the second half. That's a bad pass by MJ. I don't know why he made that pass. Oh, he traveled. Yeah, he traveled. FSU Rose wants us to look at MJ Morris. Let's do it.
But not in the short term.
Let's do it.
Not what you want. Hard to speed for the state. They own their spot on the catch. Difficult to do.
MJ Morris is a dual threat quarterback out of Atlanta, Georgia, and this dude is highly ranked. Hold on, let's bring up his stuff. Does FSU have a legit shot at this guy? Come on, Gray down there beasting in the paint. Let's go.
Was Kansas one of them and Baylor the other? Was Kansas both of them or Baylor both of them? I still don't understand. We can get that.
Look at this.
Bring back Holly Rowe on those.
Dual threat, 6'1", 175, but you're talking about 73 in the nation. He's a top 100. The number 4th ranked dual quarterback. And he's only the 7th ranked player in the whole state of Georgia. So there's 6 kids apparently in Georgia better than this one. Florida State's in on him. Florida, Auburn, Arkansas, and Alabama. We're going to watch his highlights. So they only have up to his sophomore year. Don't see anything that says junior year for him. I don't know if that means he didn't play.
Due to COVID issues, Louisville still trying to confuse the switch of Florida State in that middle ball screen aspect. They're twisting a little bit. They're screening and re-screening. They're bluffing the screen, just playing a catch.
Shut up.
Middle part of the floor.
Georgia Tech in on him hard. I'm pretty sure a kid like that, a lot of guys are in on him hard. Okay, let's see what he got. 52-40. Man, whoever's recording this got to get the camera straight. Gee, there you go. They holding it cocked to the side.
Tonight, matching his season high at 11 in their win against Georgia Tech. By David Johnson. Chris Mack moves his ball screen shot over to the slot in that 45-degree angle. Why is that so?
It's hard for me to follow what's going on. I think it's just the way the camera's positioned. Like I'm kind of like tilting my head to understand what I'm seeing. But he looks solid. He looks pretty good from what I can see.
Dear 2020, you have your time.
Definitely got a good arm on him. He throws the ball. It definitely looks effortless when he's throwing.
Boundaries, limitations, even virtual backgrounds. Today, we break free. Ready to break free? Plan your future getaway with Norwegian Cruise Line.
This is all sophomore tape, so Rose says he doesn't have junior tape because he transferred his junior year from Carleton to Pace Academy. Yeah, man, Mayday, whoever recorded this crap, I almost don't even want to finish watching it. And that has nothing to do with the kid, because he looks pretty good from what I can see, but look at this. You got to get somebody, somebody better got to start recording these games for him, because, man.
He's got the ball, looking downfield. He's going to have to hurdle the tiny track.
That's a good throw right there. He's got a good arm on him.
So
Good arm on him. People actually want Jeremy Pruitt back. Why? They just don't. People are just tired of Adam Fuller, so they'll take anything they can get right now. Check out Dante Anderson, and then 275 yards a game. I think Mayan King's talking about CJ Campbell. I think he's talking about CJ Campbell there.
This is a lot of food right here for $2.49.
You're going to order that for $10, please. $9, please. $12, please. All these crazy places. It's a no-brainer.
Spoon's working out for you.
Sonic Chicken Slinger.
You need it when? Tomorrow. You're kidding. Okay.
Davis wants Dante Anderson, so we'll move on from MJ Morris. If FSU can have a real shot at this kid, hey, that'd be what's up. Again, they are in on a ton of quarterbacks next year, so I definitely expect them to get. They're going to get one for sure. I think they're going to try to sign two. I know Tyler says if they get two. Tyler said if they get two 4 stars, he'd be happy. I would be happy. I think it might be hard to sell 2 4 stars, but definitely a 4 and a 3 star. Just give me 2 quarterbacks. If that's pace, then he will probably have ESPN quality film. School is practically a castle. I think so. His senior year, he'll probably be on ESPN. I think they're saying he transferred his junior year, so that's why he might not have the film. But a 55-42 game, FSU basketball, 7-2, going for 8-2 against the 9-2 Cardinals. Kind of expected this to be a better game. Oh my God, how'd you shoot that air ball? But he kind of expected this to be a better game. But the game's not over by a long shot. And if you keep shooting air balls like that, you'll mess around and find Louisville back in this game. Strong is out as D coordinator. He took the Jacksonville job as linebacker coach. Yeah, Urban going to Jacksonville. I don't know what to make of that. Scotty, come on, man. Gotta do better than that. 55-44. I'm going to bring up the rest of the tape here. Good rebound. Good rebound. There we go.
And that's a season high 13 now for Wyatt Wills. And 2 defensive breakdowns, Sean. You're exactly right. Why would you leave a shooter off of the dive guy in the basket? You at the backside. You never know night to night who it's going to be for Florida State. Wills didn't score at all Saturday against North Carolina. In the lane. Jones hit on the arm, bit of a late whistle.
Okay, who do we want to look up? Dante Anderson. Let's do it. We're going to be here until the game is over. So why not look at some more potential?
Hey, from State Farm. You here? This must be a State Farm commercial. Sure is. It also means
Some potential prospects.
things are gonna go surprisingly great. I've been doing this for 2 years. It means something about to go down.
They are predicting him to Miami.
Have a nice day. I told you, surprising. Just like State Farm, surprisingly great rates. Who are you talking to? Like a good
Shout out to Jay Oliver
2 months and 4 victims.
with the $10 donation. Much love as always, my brother. Let me bring up Dante Anderson. This is a highly touted kid out of South Florida. They got him going to Miami. He's crystal ball to Miami at a Homestead. We're going to bring him up here, though. Not saying I don't want this kid, because I definitely want him.
when you could add some flavor to everything around.
But we're going to compare him to Marvin Jones Jr.
Discover the possibilities of just
and see who's potentially the better player.
It's value beyond belief.
There are many names for enthusiasts, but there's only one way.
So his most recent film is only a minute.
With a lower center of gravity, a more responsive suspension, and an aggressive wider stance. This is what we call going all in on the sport sedan.
Let's look at how long is this?
39 months. Experience a mixing at your Lexus dealer.
Is the Sammy wild caught?
She only eats wild caught.
I need a price check on honey.
Don't get mad, get E-Trade and get more than just trading. Investing,
We're going to watch it, but it's not long. It's only like a minute and a half long. He doesn't seem to have any season tape. He just has this one.
I gotta work late.
Hold on. There we go. He just has this tape off of one game. Again, he is projected to the University of Miami. I mean, the whole. Oh man, he just suplexed him right there. He just suplexed him.
Wow. Virginia, only undefeated team in conference play. They're the highest ranked NBA people out there, 13. And how about Justin Champagnie at fifth, the only player in the country in D1 average?
Definitely athletic and quick off the ball. Looks like he might be more of a linebacker at the next level. He doesn't look very big, and he doesn't really look like he has a frame. Well, he definitely has the long arms. His frame could probably fill out, but I still think that's more of a edge linebacker than maybe a traditional defensive end. Probably a guy that will stand up at the next level.
Watch out for Virginia again. It's about this time last year. They were 3-3 in the ACC. Won 12 of the last 14. They could do it again this year.
And yeah, just not the best. Again, a little short film. This is the only film of him I could find on 247 anyway. So there's other tape out there. We'll find it maybe eventually.
Can they get it to single digits? Here's a great chance to do it.
The attorney for Jerry Pruitt claims Tennessee plotted against the fired coach. That report just came out. Again, do we want Jeremy Pruitt back here in Tallahassee, guys? Look at the hot mess that's going over there in, what is that, Knoxville? Come on, man. To me, it sounds like Tennessee maybe wanted to get rid of Pruitt without having to pay him. If this attorney's saying that. Ugh. Number 5 just got dunked on, y'all. And now it's single digits.
With 14:51 remaining in the first half. Now that is the one risk you run when you use a 1-3-1 out of bounds under defense. You are ball watching at all 5 spots, and a guy can slip in from behind. And a big basket by Williams and Louisville right back in this game. A long way to go.
49-57. FSU got to get some points. It's FSU talk, but can you explain why? And I talk all college football, Miss Wanda. I talk Florida State. I talk everything that's going on in college football all around. So, plus FSU fans have this fascination with bringing Jeremy Pruitt back, so it's a relevant topic. 57-49, FSU up on Louisville. 11 minutes to go. And we just got a dunk. 59-49.
way you can be that physical. Hold it on.
Let's look at Marvin Jones Jr. That's what I want to do.
Williamson not on the same page with Johnson. He thought Johnson was going to continue to cut for the hoop. He stopped, and they turned it over.
Out of American heritage.
Goes to work. Jones initially gets caught on the backside and tries in front. Can't take away the height advantage. Well done by Florida State. Nice.
He looks like the better prospect to me.
7 assists tonight.
But I'm biased. Keep breathing in the mic. I hear it. There's Marvin. No crystal ball projections on him. But 6'4", 225. I mean, top 100, 8th best player in the state. I mean, 247. They're even higher on him than the composite is. The kid might end up a legit 5-star. Probably should be. Oh, number 5 out there wheeling and dealing. I mean, why he got fired. He got fired apparently for violating a bunch of NCAA rules. The University of Tennessee claims that because of Jeremy Pruitt, they are going to face serious sanctions from the NCAA and lose eligibility, and their student athletes will lose eligibility. Some damning statements from the university. So this breakup between Tennessee and Pruitt is not going to be pretty going forward. It's going to be a messy situation. And now the Rose saying that the attorney for Pruitt claims that Tennessee is plotting against him to fire him. Basically, to me, sounded like Tennessee wants to fire him, but not have to pay him that buyout. So it's going to be a messy situation up there in Knoxville. I'm excited to what Travis J looks like. Wouldn't be surprised if Saban comes and gets Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones, I'm calling it right here, right now. He's going to be a Seminole. Don't care what anybody says. Until he signs anywhere else, that kid's going to be a Florida State Seminole. There's no way with the name Marvin Jones Jr. you go anywhere else but to Tallahassee. Let's watch his highlight tape. 63-49 Florida State. And number 5 is killing the game right now, guys. Yeah, Florida State on an 801, 65-49. You better check out Marvin Jones' tape. Marquise Dupree says, I would like Mark Stoops back, if anyone. I actually agree with that. Mark, a lot of people, I know we give Jeremy Pruitt a lot of credit, and I think there's a lot of credit to give to him. But that defense was built by Mark Stoops that Pruitt ended up taking over. I mean, that was a Mark Stoops-built defense. Absolutely. The student athletes shouldn't be affected. They shouldn't be, but according to the University of Tennessee, they are going to be. Again, those are damning words from the university. I agree, Marquise. And Dan Squatch says, where do you think Malone ends up? A part of me thinks Malone ends up in A&M. I'm not going to lie. Just because the history of recruiting, like if you follow recruiting, usually whoever gets that last visit gets the kid. It's why teams fight all the time to get that last visit. Because that last, visit leaves the most lasting impression. It's what you remember most. You could have, a great time over here, but you're always gonna kind of remember that last one. So that's what I think. I think A&M's probably the spot. Balsa, number 5, has been really good. He has been playing very good this game. 65-50. And then Rose says, I'm 100% on Marvin Jones Jr. to FSU. Same here. Let's click on these highlights. Probably gonna get a stupid Jack in the Box commercial first. I need like a commercial skipper or something. I don't know. And then we'll get to
Out of bounds, it'll be Florida State ball. He's one of those guys, and Leonard Hamilton talks about roles change year to year. The Sellers into the NBA draft.
8 minutes left, 65-50. We're gonna watch some Marvin Jones Jr., future superstar at Florida State. I'm calling it here right now. Bow. Julian Armelia is a must. I agree. That Marvin Jones, this kid Armelia that we're talking about. You're talking about those are two legacies. Ooh, Malik Osborne with the yam, and it's 67-50 Florida State. This game getting a little chippy right now. FSU's trying to impose their will. But I agree, Jay. You can't, we got to hit these legacies, man. We got to hit on these legacies. I think he would end up a 5-star. He may very well. We got to hit on him. 47 people in here, man. Still rocking. We're going to be rocking till the end of the game, and then we'll call it a night. But hit the like button. Julian Armelia and Lamont Green Jr. Lamont Green is a 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong, FSU Rose. I believe Lamont Green, another legacy. And I follow his dad too. He's definitely a must get, but I think he's 2023. Marvin Jones and Armelia are the 22 class next year coming up. But I agree, man. We're Florida State. You got all these top tier prospects, not only in your own state, in your own backyard, but these kids should be Seminoles. If Norville's worth anything, if he's worth a damn, is it unrealistic for me to think that you get all three of them? Probably. But then again, to hell with that. I don't care about it being unrealistic or not. His dad is 100% Florida State. Like, I knew all these kids had to grow up Seminole fans. They have to know their way around Doak and all of that stuff. Get them on campus and to seal the deal any way, shape, form, or fashion. This is why me personally and a lot of people think Norvell can turn this thing around a lot sooner than I think people are kind of trying to give him credit for. And a lot of that just has to do with the fact that it's not that – look, year in and year out, FSU has top tier – not FSU, but the state of Florida has top tier talent. FSU has that talent in its backyard. That's every year. But it's not every year and every few years that legacy players, not only are they legacy players, but they are 5-star caliber players, program changers. Marvin Jones Jr., that's a program changer. Imagine you get Marvin Jones Jr. and you're pairing him with Patrick Payton and George Wilson. That pass rush becomes elite in what, 1 to 2 years? Oh, and then the next year you're going to add Lamont Green Jr. as a pass rusher? Come on. You added Rod Orr at tackle, legit 4-star blue chip offensive tackle. Imagine pairing him up with Armelia next year. Your bookends are secured for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Oh, by the way, you still got All-American Robert Scott, true freshman. It's these type of deals, these type of moves that can really turn this program around way faster than what everybody's anticipating. But he has Norvell's got to win some football games and at least has to be competent on the football field. Because I don't care how much of a legacy these kids are. No one wants to come play for a team that's getting blown off the map every single game. It's getting blown out by a Louisville team that only won, 3-4 games this year, and you got blown out by 48 to whatever. You can't do that again next year at all if you want to have any shot at landing these kids. And I don't expect them to. And I think these kids I think FSU is going to be in the running for all of them, if not most. Now that Pruitt is out, I think players will start to transfer. Malachi Wyman tweeted out he was unsure about what's ahead for him. Marvin Joseph tweeted out a little cryptic tweet saying like, okay. So I'm bringing up those two particular guys because both of those guys were former FSU commits. So, maybe they look to transfer to Florida State, come home. Malachi Wyman, for a guy that had so much hype around him, I don't think he played a snap for Tennessee this year, basketball or football. A guy that athletic, got no burn. We'll take him. Morvan, we'll add him to that pass rush, baby. We'll take him. I expect some transfers. They already had 2 decommits today. I expect probably more. I think majority of their class may be signed. The question is, with those kids that in the early signing period, with those kids that signed, does the NCAA allow? I think the NCAA should put in a rule. I'd be interested to see if the NCAA one day puts in a rule that says if you sign early signing period and the coaching change happens between then and the actual signing day, I think they should allow these kids to reopen their recruitment. I'm not now after signing day. No, I think you're getting into too much extra stuff there. But if I sign early signing period, which is December, whatever, and a coaching change happens between that date and the national signing day, that kid should be allowed to reopen his recruitment. It'd be really interesting to see if they would allow that to happen. F. Weidman, he did us dirty. I feel you, Brandon. I agree with that. He did do us dirty. I'd rather have Marvin Joseph any day. Absolutely. He has like 1 catch. His name isn't even on the basketball roster. All that athletic talent looks like it might be going to waste up there in Knoxville. Caught 1 pass. Really need Marvin Joseph. I agree. 71-54. Florida State's they've been in the lead very comfortable this entire game, and I am a little surprised at just how much they've dominated this game. I thought this was a real big time ACC game. 2 2-loss teams. I think Louisville is number 3 in the ACC. But Florida State's been playing good ever since they came off of that little 1-month hiatus of canceled games. FSU is looking really good. I thought it was going to be 79-75. FSU covered. It looks like they're going to cover their spread, or what I thought they would score. Louisville's nowhere near going and score 70 points. But Gray is killing it. Wilkes, Osborne, Evans, and Barnes with 8 points. But Gray leads the way with 17. And this guy just shot an air ball. Yeah, Louisville's done. Shout out to Florida State. I'm just waiting to see Demore Tate and Brian Robinson this upcoming season. Definitely want to see Robinson. I agree with that. Of course, we all want to see Demore Tate because that dude was so highly touted coming out of. I mean, he ended up making his 5th star on a lot of recruiting services. I mean, Demore Tate was legit coming out of high school. Everybody wants to see that. And did you watch the NC State game? I didn't watch that one. Forget what I was doing when that game came on. What's up with the 2020 kid plays safety, Cristobal to Florida? He on Tallahassee doorstep. What's his name? One tribe. Got to let me know his name. Is Freeze the coach? How many will stay and not transfer? Again, I think Tennessee's going to have a hard time getting a Gus Malzahn, Gus Malzahn I think might be a more likely candidate. My thing with Hugh Freeze is Hugh Freeze has a history. If you're Tennessee and your whole reason for getting rid of Jeremy Pruitt is multiple NCAA violations and the eligibility of your players are going to be called into question, do you fire Pruitt and bring in a guy in Hugh Freeze who just had the same thing happen at Ole Miss? I don't know if Hugh Freeze is a legit option there. If Tennessee was to do that, it tells me that the whole reason why they fired Pruitt is BS, and that Pruitt might have a legit argument with his lawyers on being plotted against and to be fired. So I don't know if Freeze is the guy. And quite frankly, I think until that mess gets figured out there in Tennessee, I don't know how they attract really a big name coach to begin with. What coach is going to want to come up there and be handcuffed off the bat with sanctions because of something Jeremy Pruitt did, if he was indeed cheating? Pruitt's denying it, and he's, Tennessee's saying one thing. That whole situation up there is going to get extremely messy. You can already see it. It's been day one, and it's already been back and forth between the university and the coaches' attorneys. That whole situation is going to get nasty. What coach wants to go and enter that situation? I don't know. And you damn sure don't bring in Hugh Freeze of all coaches when he just got relieved at Ole Miss for the exact same type of deal. I don't think that would be a good look for the Tennessee Volunteers. Man, this team has a fresh identity. A lot of the younger guys seem hungry. I just hope we win 7 or more games, top 10 class if we can. I agree with that, Brandon. I think seven's playing it safe. If they do what I think they can do and shoring up the offensive line and stuff, I think 7 might be playing it a little safe. Granted, Adam Fuller is still calling this defense. So until we see improvement defensively, I understand the 7 games. But this team has a chance to. They really added some quality depth and some quality veteran guys who at least know what they're doing in the portal. Trey Donaldson is I haven't heard much on him, 1-5, but I'll look him up. Good point about Freeze. Him and Pruitt are almost the same. We really have some young weapons on this team. The rebuild is complete. Just have to go out and execute. There you go. Tyler says the rebuild is. You know what? It's hard to disagree with the rebuild being complete. Now you have to back that up with a good recruiting class next year. I really believe that. But you let 20 kids transfer out of your program this year. 20 kids. 20 kids who didn't, and majority of them didn't give you, matter of fact, I think mostly all of them didn't give you nothing. How many catches Warren Thompson had in his career? How many tackles and interceptions Isaiah Bolden had in his career? I'm just going to go down and list the names. You guys tell me who was the productive player that left the program. Who else am I missing? How many tackles Kavion Glenn had? And so on and so forth. What about Corey Durden? Corey Durden may have been your most productive player that you lost. I mean, you really flipped the roster in 1 year with the amount of guys that left and the fact that you brought in some really top quality. I'm not saying that none of these kids they brought in the portal are elite, but they at least have played meaningful football. They seem to know what they're doing and have on-field production to back that sentiment up. Grantham from Florida can take the Tennessee job. The defensive coordinator? Good luck. How do we get Jordan Travis involved long-term? If Mackenzie Melton is who we think he is coming off this injury and he's healthy and he's ready to go and rock, I don't have an answer for that, but I know you have to find a way to involve Jordan Travis some way, shape, or form. I don't have a direct answer to that because I'm personally not a fan of the rotating quarterbacks. I don't think it works. I think you're asking for trouble when you do that. Also, I don't think it's fair to Jordan Travis to put him in obvious running situations every single time when the defense knows, hey, every time Jordan Travis comes in the ball, they're just going to read option and run it. But you got to find a way to implement it. Use them in a smart way. Use them the way you saw how Jameis Winston threw that touchdown pass with the Saints yesterday against the Buccaneers. Use them in situations like that. Line them up wide and motion them in the back. Just be, if you can be creative with it, it will be successful. If you just go out there and run Wildcat with Jordan Travis the entire time, I mean, teams are going to pick up on that, and it's not. But if you get creative with them, have times, I guess, when you have Milton and Travis on the field at the same time, you can do stuff like that. Hey, and and people don't forget, Mackenzie Milton can run if that knee can hold up. Mackenzie Milton can run the ball, guys. He can run the ball. Hell, Adam Fuller has no excuses right now. I don't want to hear 4.25 no more. All these damn DB. I agree there, Brandon, 110%. They are obviously going to run that 4.25 to the fullest extent because they recruited all these damn DBs. He has no excuses. Everybody that made the excuse for Adam Fuller, well, he has to get his guys. He didn't have the personnel to run what he want to run. Well, he's got it now because they are DB heavy. They are DB heavy. So I don't want to. I'm with you. I don't want to hear it. He better figure it out. I say moving the receiver if the freshmen are growing. Use J. Trav like Tyson Hill and Drew Brees. They should have known from his history with us. Talking about Pruitt, best idea I had was when you run the Wildcat with Corbin, you have him out wide. Then you can run a set of high-tempo play or two. Do you think Miami will be a better team with Travis over King? Are Travis or King? That's a great question. I think Travis might be a better runner than De'Aaron King. De'Aaron King might be a slightly better passer. And that's just from an arm strength perspective. I don't know if De'Aaron King's particularly I don't know if he's particularly accurate enough. Would they be better with Travis or King? I don't know. There's not much difference in them. Miami just had a better. Miami just, I don't know. They'd probably be better with King. King might fit maybe better with what they want to do, but that's a tough question to answer. Golf Hill says offensive line much improved. We have upgraded to the defense with Milton and Parchment. We can be very solid football team. Too early to predict wins. I feel pretty good. I'm on the same page with you there, man. Too early to predict wins. I don't want to predict wins either. Let's see how they finish out building the roster with like a poke, with like a poke, with like about less than a month. What we've got like 2 or 3 weeks left to fill out the rest of the roster. As far as recruiting goes, then you can still in the transfer portal add guys if you have the space. But let's see a spring. Let's see how they get the spring. Let's see how the spring, the summer, and the fall goes before we, want to pick wins. But I agree. I think definitely a much improved team. And just the fact that they're going to go into year 2 knowing what the hell they're doing. The staff knows what they have. I expect good things. And FSU's kind of running away with this one, man. It's 76-60. And this hasn't even been a game. I predicted 79-75, and I thought we'd have a tough game on our hands. But the Noles came to play tonight. I thought Louisville would play better at home. Definitely got to start this all the way and rewatch my boy Polk been sweating my sports bookie tickets. Hey, keep in mind, we're likely to lose 1 to 3 more after spring. You think so? Who do you think we're likely to lose? I think Baveon Glenn, man, might be the last guy we lose if I'm obvious. If you say after spring, I think you're assuming that one of those quarterbacks decides to head out, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think if the quarterbacks are smart, they understand that, one, this is a one-year guy. Two, this is a one-year guy who's done a lot of winning in college football and can maybe teach you some things that, quite frankly, Jordan Travis couldn't teach you. You feel me? James Blackman, while he was a tenured player, it's hard to. I know he was a good teammate. I know he's a good kid, but do you really look at James Blackman on how to prepare for a football game when you know the kind of head case he is and emotional player he is on the football field? So I think Mackenzie Milton's going to bring some stuff to those young players. Other than a quarterback, I don't foresee anybody else leaving the team. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't foresee another player leaving the team. This is a strong finish to the game. Yeah, they are closing this one strong, man. They're going to finish with about probably I said they'd score 79. Looks like they're going to score 78. Louisville didn't hold up their end of the bargain. I don't even think Polite didn't even play today, did he? I don't even think Polite played tonight. Gaynor and Rice, my starters. Don't disagree there. That's a lot of speed at the backer position to start off with. The question I have is, do you want Dix and Lundy on the field? He missed both damn free throws. I'm trying to get to 79. You can't even get me to 78 because you want to miss free throws. The question is, do you want Lundy and Dix on the field at the same time? Do you want to kind of mix up the rotation and have Dix and Gaynor and then Rice and Lundy as the two guys you back up with? Where does Jaleel McRae fit in that whole rotation? I mean, if a guy might leave, it could be a Jaleel McRae if you don't see himself fitting in a rotation. Things like that, potentially when he says, one of those three guys might be leaving. I just don't see who else on this team could possibly be leaving. What up, my man? Is Norvell believable when he talks about the team? In what form? I'll be honest with you. I don't watch Norvell's interviews as much as when he first got the job. Of course, you watch him because you're interested in what your new head coach has to say. But Norvell's interviews, man, they're not very insightful. He's very generic in what he says. So when he says, is it believable? I don't know. No, not the QB. I think we're going to lose 1 or 3 from the bottom of the depth chart. Okay. What's up, No Family? And that's the final. So we're going to be heading out here in a minute. But the final score is 78-65, Florida State. So they finished one shy of what I thought they would score. Louisville didn't quite have a good game tonight. But shout out to these Seminoles. If we lose any more, it'll probably be Jordan. I could see a receiver like a Jordan Young leaving. Again, I don't want to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. But I could potentially see one of the quarterbacks thinking, maybe they can go somewhere else and get a better opportunity. I forgot all about Jordan Young. I could see him leaving, but you could see a DB leave. Which one? I don't know. But when you add 3 guys in the portal, I think you're sending a message to the DBs that's already on your team that you guys aren't good enough or not getting it done at least. If you don't add 3 guys to that position and maybe somebody's going to be left out of that rotation. There's just not enough snaps to rotate. I mean, let's just name the guys. Akeem Dent, Jarian Jones, Travis J, Ronaldo Green, Jarvis Brownlee, Miko Dotson, Damori Tate, Green McKnight, Sidney Williams, on top of the 3 guys that they added, and I'm probably forgetting some kids. The 3 guys you brought in, Marion Cooper, Kevin Knowles, and who's the other? Is it Hunter Washington? They brought in 3 recruits. They are deep at DB. There's just not enough snaps for all of those guys to play. So that's a good point. You could see Jordan Young and maybe potentially another DB. So you may be right, man. You may definitely get 1 to 3 more guys leaving the program. The numbers do start to make up sense when you start to think about it. So good point by Dan Squatch. When you think about it, you actually do make a good point. In the words of Whitney Houston, hell to the gnaw, black men couldn't show them kids not a damn thing. Right. Milton, brains of leadership and experience that these young quarterbacks can learn a lot from. I think it would be smart. It would not be smart to leave. I agree. I don't think it'd be smart for them to leave either. He's only there for 1 year. And after he leaves, that quarterback position is going to be wide open for Chuba, Rodemaker, and Jordan Travis. That this year, no, but 2023, that's the year, which is why I think they want to take 2 quarterbacks this upcoming cycle. Because in 2023, I would almost guarantee that somebody transfers out of that quarterback room, especially if you sign a couple guys this upcoming recruiting cycle. Somebody's going to win that job, and whoever loses that job is going to look to go elsewhere. I think we don't see QB attrition until next year. That's about, okay, that's what I was just making. So, yep, either Jordan Travis wanting to be QB1 somewhere if Purdy becomes the guy, or if Purdy and Jordan Travis babble, maybe Tate goes and plays small ball somewhere. Good point. Basically what I was just saying. So that's a good point there. I like a amusement park. I hope he doesn't leave. He just needs some playing time. Do you think Akeem Dent is salvageable? I'm one of the few people that I don't want to write the book on Akeem Dent yet, man. I don't want to write the book. I think Akeem Dent can still be great. And maybe I'm completely wrong. I do not want to write the book on Akeem Dent yet. Let him recover from that ankle injury fully. Next year, he's going to have all the opportunity in the world. He just better come to play. If they bring in 2 freshman QBs next year, kind of tells me these coaches are expecting to lose one. Absolutely. If one of the young pass rushers making an impact early, I can see T.J. Davis or Curtis Fan Jr. T.J. Davis is going to be interesting 904. I mean, he's a guy who didn't get any burn this year. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can make the rotation this upcoming season. I know when they signed him, Adam Fuller and Norvell was like, he's a speed rusher off the edge, but just might take a year or 2 to get him on the field. Davis is going to be an interesting kid to watch. Curtis Fan, he might leave. He's a guy who's been in the program for, I think, 2 or 3 years already, and for whatever reason, we can't get him on the field. So that'd be interesting to see if we ever get Curtis Fan on the field. Shout out to Cam Akers. While Cam performed well this season, Rams need to try and get Deshaun Watson along with Cam. That will be fire. I agree. Golf is average at best. I would argue golf is trash, but trash might be too harsh. So good point, Panama. And definitely shout out to the Knowles in the NFL. Now, if I'm letting DBs go, Dent is not one of them. I agree. Dent has talent. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I'm not ready to write the book on Akeem yet. If I had to if you told me let a DB go right now, who do you want to go? First guy I would pick is Miko Dotson. And I'm not trying to go bad on Miko, but the best ability I'm always told is availability. We didn't see Miko play at all. What did we see Miko play? 10 snaps last year. When you can't even get on the field, if I had to let a guy go first and foremost, it'd be Miko Dotson. After that, it's kind of tough for me. After that, it's tough for me. Because I think a lot of these kids have talent. They just need, I was thinking Jarian, but I didn't want to really go there off the rip. But I was thinking maybe Jarian, but Winston to the Rams. I'll never forget when golf didn't know which way the sun rose and set. Do you think Cam ever makes the Pro Bowl? If he continues to do what he do, yeah, he'll make the Pro Bowl. He'll make the Pro Bowl for sure. He'll make the Pro Bowl for sure. I mean, Dalvin Cook should have been an All-Pro. You know, for whatever reason, they've had it out against Dalvin Cook since he entered the draft. There's no reason why Dalvin Cook shouldn't have been, if not the first. You can make a legit case for Christian McCaffrey. If you want to say Christian McCaffrey was the best versatile, best all-around back in that class, I'm not going to argue that. But the second back off the board should have been Dalvin Cook. I don't even think that's a question. Dawson should have stayed at FSU. He's too little too. Isn't he 5'9"? These ACC receivers can go get the ball. Jones can go too. Jerry Jones, for me, hands down. So everybody's on the Jerry Jones bandwagon to get him out of Tallahassee. Again, I don't want to write the book on Jerry Jones either, but he did not, for a guy who had a lot of hype, I agree. He didn't fit the bill. I think they're going to make the transition. They might move Jerry Jones to safety. Seems to me like he's more of a free safety type of player than on the ball man type corner. Again, but FSU, those are good problems to have. All those DBs, that's a good problem to have. If those kids, you don't bring your A game in practice, you're not going to see the field. We must speed we can on our team, leftover recruit and all purpose if we can. What weight should Toafili show up at? I think he played freshman year in 180. Now, 20 pounds is a lot to ask for. All depends on how he puts on the weight and all of this. He needs to show up for me with the full year in the weight room. Offseason, Man, give me 195 and I'll be happy. 200 might be a little bit too much. If he gains it right, it's not undoable. It's not. He can definitely do 20. It looked like he played at about 180 this year, 185. Give me 195, 190. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. Had a bum hamstring all season. That's another thing I heard about Jerry Jones. Had a bum hamstring. So at what point do we? Here's the thing. I don't want to hear nothing about no injuries from Jerry Jones next year, because I didn't hear nothing about a hamstring until the end of the year. He was on every depth chart. He was never questionable. He was never on the injury report. So, hey, Jerry Jones got to get it together. Yeah, I don't hate Jones, but if I had to let someone go, I think someone I let go before him. Do you think Cam could get a Super Bowl with with Aaron Donald and Ramsey on that other side of the ball? Yeah, not with Goff as quarterback though. They got to fix the quarterback position. Toafili will be about 190, 195. What up? 193. Same, 188 to 195. Give me 203. Yeah, by his senior year, Toafili should be about 205-ish, 210 by that senior year. As long as he's adding the weight the right way. Who you think starts at wide receiver this season? Well, it's got to be Parchment. That's why you brought him in here, because outside of Parchment, everything is unproven and unknown. So Parchment is going to be your number one going into the next year for sure. Question is, do you get Dustin Hill? If you get Dustin Hill, you might be cooking with fish grease in that wide receiver room. You still got Brian Robinson. Let's see if we can get him on the field. You got some potential at wide receiver. 8 to 12 good pounds can be a lot on this frame. I expect big things out of Mark Gainer this year. Fuller. Key point. What is it? The key phrase in your sentence. If Fuller. And every time we talk about defense, we got to emphasize if Fuller and then finish the sentence. If Fuller can coach. If Fuller uses him effectively. If Fuller gets the hell out of Tallahassee, they'll be a lot better. All of those things are real. All of those things are good reasons to hold on about Florida State next year. Because if Fuller, fill in the blank, Parchment definitely starting. I got in here really late. Did you discuss Trey Fisher? I did not discuss Trey Fisher. I didn't really think it was a reason to discuss it, but you brought it up. I will talk about it right now. What Green Bay is talking about is Trey Fisher put something on his Instagram. Now, I don't know all the in-depth background on it. I know his Trey Fisher's on his Instagram. I think somebody asked him, I think the question was, who would you like to meet? And somebody answered the question on his Instagram, Jimbo Fisher. Now, if you don't know who Trey Fisher is, that's Jimbo's son. And Trey Fisher responded to the person saying they would like to meet Jimbo. And I don't remember verbatim, but it was basically, you mean the guy that left FSU? Man, what did he say? He's like, you mean the guy who abandoned FSU? Basically saying, he basically was like, his dad quit on FSU, and that's the way he worded it. Let me see if I can find exactly what he said, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. Green Bay is one of the guys with me on FSU Twitter, so I wasn't gonna talk about it, but he brought it up. It was kind of funny to see that his own son didn't really have positive things to say about the way he left Florida State. Man, what did he say? I can't find it. If somebody can find it, put exactly what he said in the comments. The dude. Okay, so here it is. I just found it. If you could meet one celebrity, who would it be? That was the question. Somebody responded Jumbo Fisher, but obviously they meant Jimbo. Trey Fisher responded, the dude who left FSU stranded, ? And put a disgusted face emoji, the green sick face next to it. That's what Trey Fisher did. Shout out to T Fish, baby, for saying that his roots is in FSU, is in Tallahassee. Because, yeah, when your own son comes out and says that against you, that's not really a good look, is it? He posted on his Instagram what celebrity. There you go. What I just found. There you go. That's what he posted. The guy who left FSU stranded. But we've been in here for 2 hours. FSU got a good win tonight. Pretty much dominated the Louisville Cardinals. So shout out to FSU. A little bit of news and notes. I'll get into some of the next show. Dan Squatch. We'll get into what I think about each transfer portal guy, as well as some other topics. I'll think about some other topics for the next show, but going on 2 hours, I'm ready to call this one a night. So shout out to everybody who came in here. If you didn't hit the like button on your way in, y'all know the deal. Hit the like button on your way out. Y'all know how we end this every time. Shout out to the donation from Jay Oliver. Shout out to everybody in the chat that showed love. As always, stay classy, Seminoles. And to all my non-Seminole fans, my T2Y, Maiden Dade, Hurricane Kilo, my they want to be Seminole fans. They just don't know how to break it to their friends and family and to their own fan base that they really like to be a Seminole. So shout out to you guys, my undercover Seminole fans. You ain't gotta look, you can deny it. You ain't gotta come out and say it. You ain't gotta come out and say it, T2Y. We all know you really like the Seminoles. So thank you guys for tuning in. And hey, stay classy, guys. And we are out here. We'll see you guys next time, baby. Go Noles.